Hi, Analisa Six here with the Lady of Leisure and the Sober Curator to bring you the August 2023 horoscope for the zodiac sign of Capricorn for Sun and Rising placements. All right, Capricorn, let's get into it. I'm going to try to keep this brief and linear. We're going to backtrack to August 1st because it's August 9th when I'm recording this. And August 1st, we had a full moon at 9 degrees Aquarius, which was happening in the area of the chart that rules finances and material stability, as well as self-worth for you. The full moon illuminates and highlights wherever it's hitting in the chart and brings awareness to that area. And so if money's been on your mind, material security's been on your mind, that full moon was really bringing it into the awareness on the 1st. This was a great time for you to set intentions towards manifesting more material abundance, security, money, self-worth, feelings around self-worth, all of that. We are in Leo season, so we started the month out in Leo season, and we also have Mercury and Mars in the mutable Earth sign of Virgo. And Earth likes Earth, so Virgo energy is very positive for Capricorn. It really helps you kind of get all of your ducks in a row and really, put a lot of energy towards the things that you want to organize and get done. So there's kind of this boost for you happening with Mars and Mercury here. The area of the horoscope chart that Mercury and Mars is hitting for Capricorn is the area that has to do with our values and belief systems, as well as long distance travel, higher education. So if there's things that we want to dive more into or expand upon with learning, this is highlighted. And also seeking truth, wisdom, different values or belief systems from other cultures, different spiritual modalities. All of those things are highlighted with Mercury and Mars here. Mercury is going to be here for all of August because it is stationing retrograde on August 23rd, which is also the day that we enter Virgo season. Mars is only going to be here until the 28th of August, and then it's going to be entering Libra and entering your area of career and work and how you're putting yourself out there into the world. So once Mars enters the area of career, we might be going through a time where we feel a lot of need to work really hard. Wherever Mars is, we feel kind of the sense of action and determination. It can be really positive for, feeling ambitious and motivated to get a lot done. But Mars, wherever it is, also brings challenges and conflict. And so we might be experiencing challenges at work or conflict at work. And in Libra, it's sign of detriment. It's making a square to Capricorn, and kind of there's some tension there between your sense of self and your identity versus maybe what you have to do and how you have to be productive. So there's going to be some challenges towards the end of the month with the Mercury retrograde and Mars entering Libra. Mars also in the area of value and belief system for the most of August in Virgo. That also can be of conflict when it comes to how your past perception or your past belief systems they might be challenged this month. You might realize that you're having to be more open-minded maybe towards values or belief systems that in the past you would have been more closed-minded towards. On the flip side, you might also find things that you used to be more open-minded towards, you're not feeling as open-minded towards anymore now that you have some wisdom behind it. So it's dependent, obviously on each individual how this is manifesting, but there's possibility for both to be happening simultaneously. And it's important that you are open to learning from other people without necessarily losing your practical, grounded skepticism that you often have as Capricorn, because I think discernment, is very Saturnian. That's your ruling planet. And Capricorn really excels at discernment. But sometimes Capricorn can get in its own way, thinking sometimes that it knows already or that it knows the best way. It can be rigid. And so with Mercury and Virgo is a little bit more expansive, more mutable, more open to learning. But we're not asking you to lose your discernment or your skepticism through that either, because we also know that that's of equal value. But if you are thinking or contemplating of doing any more education or another educational program, this might be a positive time for you. There might be a little bit of challenges with that towards the end of August because of the fact that Mercury stations retrograde. So it might not be a smooth start, but it's definitely supported in terms of remaining open-minded towards what's possible. And learning different ideas than maybe what you've been, if you've been stuck kind of in one perspective for too long, if that makes sense. This is also a time where you might feel a lot of need to get out and travel. because Mars is here, there might be conflict around that, but it's, you know, and obviously with Mercury retrograde, it's not always positive to do that during retrogrades, but, you know, you might need to do something anyways. Mercury is going to enter the retrograde shadow on August 15th. So we really only have another, you know, few days left, you know, less than a week before we're in that retrograde shadow. And not everybody, especially Capricorn type people, don't necessarily feel shadow periods as much as water signs or some of the more sensitive, intuitive signs in that way. Like for me, I feel a shadow period pretty intensely. Like the shadow period tends to be harder for me than the actual retrograde. And sometimes I've noticed with other elemental makeups in people, they're more sensitive to the retrograde and less sensitive to the shadow. So I don't know. It's dependent on how and where it's hitting for you in your personal chart as well. We also have in August, Venus is stationing. I'm sorry, I started that wrong. Venus is, for the whole month of August, retrograde in the sign of Leo. And the area of the chart that's hitting for Capricorn is the area that has to do with sex, death, rebirth, shared resources. Also, our relationship to the way we view occult studies and things like that. And so Venus here, we could be reflecting on assets. We could be reflecting on inherited money if we have had someone pass and there's an estate or money that we're dealing with from that inheritance. It's also a placement for marital relationships, but also any relationship where we share money or resources with, like food, bills, all those types of things. And so a lot of times when Venus is retrograde in this area, our marriage comes up for review. Our relationship comes up for review. We might be reflecting a lot on dynamics around money or shared resources and whether or not it's working for us, things like that. So that's going to be a theme. And so if you're feeling a little bit of turbulence in your relationship, Venus is here kind of trying to help you work through that and find more constructive ways to communicate with your partner around those themes. It might feel hard in the moment, but oftentimes Venus wants to heal and wants resolution. And so hopefully, you know, if you are going through any problems in your relationship, you can feel, you know, that there's going to be a light at the end of the tunnel. Of course, it's not true for everybody. In some relationships, we might feel like the division of assets and resources is what needs to happen. But Venus wants to unify. Venus wants to bring things together. So in retrograde, we might be reassessing that. We might say, is this still the way that we want to be doing it? But it's not. Venus isn't here to tear us apart. Venus very much wants to bring people together and heal and make things more harmonious and better. So that's going to be something that you're feeling and experiencing for the whole month of August. I'm going to go ahead and just move into our lunar events. So we have a new moon happening in that same area of the chart for Capricorn at 23 degrees Leo on August 16th. And that new moon is a great time to set intentions towards wanting to cultivate more harmony in your relationship around shared resources. So again, if you're married or if you're in a partnership where you share bills or money or food, setting intentions towards wanting that to be harmonious and loving and easy and smooth is really positive. Also, if somebody's passed away and you are dealing with inherited wealth, or you have assets or investments or things that you're dealing with in that way, this is also a really positive time to set intentions towards putting order to that and, you know, making any progress with that needs to be made. On August 30th, we have a second full moon of the month, and that's happening at 7 degrees of Pisces. And the area that this is hitting for the Capricorn chart is the area that represents communication. So again, wherever the full moon, it's highlighting something that we need to work on, or that we're bringing awareness towards, and it might be an area that we want to set intentions towards or release something. And so with communication being the theme, this is a really positive time for you to work on setting intentions towards manifesting constructive communication dynamics or releasing communication dynamics, whether it's with yourself or other people that no longer serve you or are of no benefit to you. And Pisces is a very emotional sign. It's an emotion-based sign. And so this might be a positive time because Capricorn can sometimes be the opposite, where it closes off and gets really rigid. When it comes to sharing feelings, this might be a time where this full moon is asking you to be more vulnerable, more in touch with your spirituality, more in touch with your feelings, finding ways to communicate in a more soft or vulnerable way that Pisces sometimes needs, you know. So that's also a big theme for Capricorn during the full moon on August 30th. All right, Capricorn, that's it for you. I hope you enjoyed your video. Let me know in the comments, hit like, subscribe if you like this video, and I will see you guys next month.